The concept of trans-frontier conservation areas is well established within the Southern African Development Community, or the SADC region.
I therefore know of no political movement, no philosophy, no ideology which does not agree with the Peace Parks concept.
The management of shared natural and cultural resources across international boundaries has the potential to meaningfully contribute to the conservation of biodiversity and socio-economic development of rural communities. While there is no international convention for trans-frontier conservation areas, or TFCAs, these initiatives complement the goals and objectives of various international conservation-related conventions. In stark contrast to the rich biodiversity that these areas offer with their vast and breathtaking landscapes, bejeweled with both natural and cultural treasures, they also tend to be characterized by high levels of poverty amongst the human populations living in and around them. Incompatible, competing and conflicting land uses are also a challenge to maintaining ecosystem integrity and biodiversity conservation within the large landscapes that make up TFCAs. TFCAs offer a platform that enables dialogue between countries across traditionally competing sectors. They also facilitate closer collaborative planning and implementation to meet both conservation and socio-economic development objectives. Additionally, SADC member states acknowledge that the primary beneficiaries of TFCAs should be the local communities living in and around these areas. Within the SADC region, the Kavango-Zambezi Trans-Frontier Conservation Area, or KAZA, is a flagship TFCA because of its geographical extent and scale of ambition. The shared vision and commitment of partner state leaders. Over the years, partner states have dedicated considerable resources, financial, human, time, technical, and other in-kind support towards the program. The support of communities and their leaders, as well as community-based organizations. And lastly, the support and commitment of the international donor community.
For the German government, it's one of the most effective and most valuable projects that we are supporting here.
KAZA TFCA is a dream come true. The initial talks about the establishment of the KAZA TFCA were thought to be a fairy tale. By working together as a team and respecting each other's differences, the partner states are showing that they can create something of unimaginable proportions which will live on in perpetuity. And so the dream has become a reality.
We came from different backgrounds with different interests. The first thing we had to do was to be friends as ministers. Unless we appreciate those cultural diversity, then there's no tourism to speak of. And unless there is that respect amongst these 5 countries, there is no KAZA.
It's a very ambitious project. If you think about it, the scale, it's enormous. And a lot of people thought that this is a pipe dream. This is something that cannot really become a reality because it's so enormous.
The KAZA TFCA was legally established on 18 August 2011 with the signing of the treaty between the presidents of the republics of Angola, Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. When the idea of KAZA was first proposed and a feasibility study undertaken, the size of the area was just over 290,000 square kilometers. However, by the time the Memorandum of Understanding was signed on 11 December 2006, the area had been increased to over 360,000 square kilometers. As time went by, the area expanded so much that it was just under 520,000 square kilometers when the treaty was signed. This is larger than Germany, Switzerland, and Austria combined. This vast expanse is richly endowed with a great diversity of ecosystems and landscapes. These range from the dense canopy of the tropical dry forest of northwestern Zambia through a mosaic of woodlands to rolling grasslands, parched vastness of the Mahadi Pans to the wetlands of the Okavango swamps. It includes many national parks, game management areas, community conservancies, and forest reserves. It also includes one of the greatest inland deltas in the world, the Okavango Delta, one of 4 Ramsar sites, as well as one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, the Victoria Falls. Both inscribed as World Heritage Sites, the area also hosts 17 important birding areas. Wildlife abounds in the area, and the population of the African elephant in KAZA is more than in any other area in the world. Other major populations of a wide range of species of the southern African savannas, woodlands, and wetlands also roam the area. As can be expected over such a vast area, the plant life is remarkable, with about 3,000 species, some 100 of which are endemic. It is also home to more than 500 species of birds, reptiles, amphibians, and interesting invertebrates. A unique feature of the TFCA is multiple land use and local communities living within wildlife areas. It is estimated that KAZA is home to over 2 million people. Given the huge diversity of ethnic groups and stakeholders across the region, KAZA's mission is mind-boggling. How would it be possible to bring all stakeholders together to form a cohesive unit working towards conservation of biodiversity as well as successful tourism products, whilst also ensuring that communities reap the benefits therefrom? The countries knew that to undertake this mammoth task, determination and passion were needed. It is therefore testimony to their conviction and belief that something beyond expectation is being created. Various institutional structures and arrangements have been established to ensure that this mission is achievable, and multi-party stakeholder engagements and partnerships are formed. However, the leadership for the initiative remains the responsibility of the lead ministries from the partner states. These lead ministries are normally those of environment, wildlife, and/or tourism.
The coming together of your 5 countries to jointly manage this great transfrontier conservation area is a true symbol of regional integration. I see the transfrontier conservation areas as a development model that integrates poverty reduction, sustainable management of natural resources, and regional integration, and transforms them into the improvement of our human capital into wealth creation.
I have a dream that we can fight poverty, we can defeat poverty. We have to get the community involved in the conservation of all resources. And the idea is to bring back animals to the area called Simalaha Community Conservancy, bring back the animals that were there.
KAZA's vision is to establish a world-class trans-frontier conservation and tourism destination area in the Okavango and Zambezi River Basin regions of Angola, Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe within the context of sustainable development. This vision will be implemented on 4 fronts: integrated natural resource management and land use planning, including issues of wildlife dispersal areas, wildlife migratory patterns and corridors, wildlife protection and law enforcement, human-wildlife conflict, community-based natural resource management, and fire, fisheries, and forestry management. Tourism development, including issues of tourism value chains, facilities and infrastructure, immigration and easy movement of tourists, and tourist product development, especially trans-frontier tourism products. Community development, including issues of poverty reduction, livelihood diversification, health and adaptation and resilience to climate change. Lastly, governance, including issues of harmonization of policies, legislation and practices, capacity development, information, experience and resource sharing and pooling, healthy economic environment, stakeholder engagement, and research.
Poverty eradication is a key, rural development is key, So we really target the local communities.
The resources are there for them, and they should be well guarded and guarded jealously.
Our responsibility is to ensure that community aspirations are met. We must give our community the right to use those resources and benefit from them. They are in a better position to preserve our biodiversity.
We can use conservation, we can use proper management of our resources to bring them back and to use them as a tool for fighting poverty and for bringing prosperity to our people.
Since the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding, major achievements on various levels have been reached. On a governance level, formal agreements establishing the TFCA have been concluded, institutional structures have been established, and component and regional development plans and strategies have been developed. On an ecological level, park management equipment, vehicles, and infrastructure have been supplied. Communications networks have been expanded, and park housing and administration facilities have been constructed. Environmental monitoring programs have also been supported, and wildlife dispersal areas are being secured through joint law enforcement operations. On an economic level, the KAZA Univisa between Zambia and Zimbabwe has been launched, and the KAZA TFCA has been marketed as a tourism destination. On a social level, awareness about the benefits derived from wildlife dispersal areas is being created and community development projects are being supported. Human-wildlife conflict mitigation measures are also being put into place. It should, however, be recognized that KAZA still faces various challenges, including but not limited to the lack of infrastructure and services in many protected areas, insufficient funding to support conservation and community development programs across the TFCA, and institutional constraints to enable high-impact interventions on the ground. Despite these challenges, KAZA is well on its way to becoming one of Africa's greatest achievements. Through conservation and development efforts, it will be enjoyed by generations to come. All stakeholders involved in the development of KAZA can thus be justifiably proud.
Somos fortes e invencíveis. We are strong and invincible quando lutamos unidos. When we are together. Fracos e derrotados. Weak and defeated quando lutamos divididos. When we are divided. Então unidos como só homem. So united vamos levantar a África Austral. We have to e vamos concretizar os nossos sonhos. And realize our dreams.
Mm-hmm.